Good morning, Jim Hodges here, Toulouse here. Toulouse is a standard poodle, 9 months old, in for our board and training. He is also going to have that special task of being a medical alert dog or a type of service dog as he gets older. He is perfectly capable of being able to do just that. He's a very smart dog. He doesn't get shaken up by things, very happy, very affectionate, wants to pay attention in most cases, and wants to show off by the things he knows he can do. The thing about a smart dog is we have to be consistent. A smart dog, training begins when you want him to do something and he wants to do something else, okay? We have to be aware of that. If he makes a mistake, we've got to be certain that we're going to be there to make him do the right thing. So what do I mean by making him do the right thing? I call working with the dog in obedience in whatever we're doing is about motivation. Motivation takes two forms, praise and consequence. Praise is a combination of words, touch, treat, toy, positive emotion. In that moment of whatever he's doing, we want to get him excited. Emotion is a very important part of all of those. Consequence is or the word or no, and a tap or avoidance, something along those lines in that moment of time, okay? Our job is even if we have to consequence, when we do carry out the consequence, we don't do anything to intimidate, dominate, break his spirit, hurt him, have him fear us. It's just something, a point in nature that we do as the leader in the pack, and then we move on. And I'll go so far as to say if he does do something wrong and we have to provide a consequence, after we provided the consequence, we come back and give him a little bit of praise to let him know he has done correctly. We do that through life. With someone that may not be as consistent as they think they need to be, we want to make sure that we say what we mean what we say. If you don't mean it, don't say it. The worst thing we can do with our dogs is ask them to do something and make an excuse for them for not doing it, or because of the certain situation around you, you might not should have even asked him to do the command if you weren't prepared to do it. Such a valid truth for all dogs, okay? Again, we're going to go through the obedience here. His only real hard part of his life is being consistent and focusing, because he can get excited. We've tried to temper that excitement. We still have playtime. We still do the exciting things where in my book, and I have talked to his mom here, he can play and be crazy. He can jump on us. In fact, we've actually taught a hug command as well. He can jump, he can bite, lightly bite when we give him that play and command. But as soon as it's time to go back to work, we go back to work. So we're going to go over the next few minutes, and I'm going to show you the things that we do if he doesn't do it, or I'm going to demonstrate to you even if he doesn't do it. Even if he does it, I'm going to show you what he needs to do if he doesn't do it. It's important that we provide that consequence. That consequence touch is so important. I believe that is the essential communication with dogs. When we praise, touch, treat, toy. And I don't mind how many treats you want to give him. I just don't want him to work for treats. I want him to work because he's obeying you as the leader. And the treat is like a commission or a tip for a job well done. Okay? You ready, man? Okay, let's go. Hear that tongue. Let's go with him walking with us. It's not to be confused with the heel command. You know, we can run, we can walk, we can do whatever we need to do. He needs to be able to walk with us. We can pet him and love him if we want. But his job is to be right with us. It's not to be out in front of us. Yes, he can be a little bit behind us, but we don't want him out in front. When he's out in front, two things happen. One, he gets distracted by the world, and two, he is actually leading and can't react because he can't see what we want. So if he starts to go out in front, all we're going to do is tap the leash right back to him. Again, it's a tap. We're not here to intimidate or dominate. Good boy. And get him to do the things we want. So the tap is right here by our hands, loose leash, tap back to our side. Let's go. And that's what we do. We change direction. Whatever we do, he follows. Now, if we see someone in the neighborhood, we'll come up. Good boy. We'll stop. We'll talk. Notice I didn't put him in a sit command. He's not in a sit command. That's his default sit command right there. He wanted to sit, that's fine. But we will sit here and talk. His job is to stay right here. He can lay it. If I put a sit command on him, his job is to sit right there. But normally I'll come up to say, hey, we say sit, good boy, break. And now we release him, and now he can be comfortable while we're talking to someone in the neighborhood, okay? His job is just to be there, to be seen and not heard, unless we want him to say, hey, okay? Let's go. Good boy. So, sit. Atta boy, good boy. Hand signal for sit is the actual official sit. I'm not going to say the word stay with it. Sit is enough for him to hold it till I'm ready for him to move on. If he did not sit there, or if he popped up, it would be no, sit, just about like that. Okay, we're not here to intimidate or dominate once again. So he's in that sit, he holds it. It's got to be a loose leash. We don't want it to be tight, all right? So now, break. Atta boy, good boy. Notice when I broke him, first of all, break is a release command. That means he doesn't have to do work anymore as long as he still is with me and is not pulling. But when I told him to break, I stepped back. He came to me. I'll pet him and love him. I've got treats in my back pocket. I could even give him a treat if I want to. But if he started to paw for it or jump for it or something like that, I probably wouldn't do it. Okay? Sit. Good boy. Down. Atta boy. Good boy. I will give you a treat for that. Good boy. So down is down. Now, no, down. One of the things that happen is if I drop the treat on the ground, no, down. I don't want him to pick it up, so I'll pick it up because I don't want a dog to pick up things off the ground. Operator error there, okay? But down means down. He holds that down until I release him or I give him another command, okay? Still, we're not worried about the word stay right this moment. Sit. Atta boy. Good boy. Now I give him the treat now that I tried to give him for the down while ago. Good boy. But I asked him to sit. He's in that sit. Break. Let's go. Good boy. So when we're just walking in the neighborhood or we're walking around, it's important that we communicate to him we're happy with him. Atta boy. Good. Sit. Down from the side. Atta boy. He's got that standard poodle head that seems to always come back. It's a natural thing. If you have a standard poodle, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And again, we're holding. Now, what I can do is go stay. When I tell him to stay, that means pack your bags, you're going to be there a while. You can chew on a bone, you can smell the ground. You can't pick up rocks or anything mom and dad don't want him to, okay? But he's got to stay there. Normally I'll do this, or I ask my clients to do this for 5, 10, 15 minutes, even a half hour. When we put our dog into a down stay, he doesn't have to focus on us. And ideally, we're putting him there and we don't have to worry about him, okay? If he did get up from the down or the down stay, we would get him and we would go grab him. No, back to that original spot, down or down stay, excuse me, whatever the case may be. So he can chill. He can do this with my dogs in the house, with people over, walking over around him and everything else. He knows to do it, and we want to praise him while he's doing it. See, one of the crazy things about working with dogs, I reach down here, atta boy, and pet him while he's holding a command. He learns we're making him happy. He's making us happy, okay? Just say, break. And he's with you and you're reading a book in the evening or on the computer and he wants to be beside you. He's not into anything. He's not getting in trouble. Praise him. Let him know when he's doing the things that you think will add to your life and you think that will benefit life in your pack, okay? My job or my goal as his owner, so it's your job, is to try to find a way to praise our dogs at least 20 times during the day, more than we ever provide a consequence. Of course, in the beginning with training, we're going to do a little more consequence. That's just nature, because we're trying to come back and teach our dogs to do things they haven't been doing in the past. But once we get there, fill their life full of praise when they're doing something that makes you feel good, okay? Let's go. Good boy. So we also have the place. Atta boy. Good boy. Places to get on the bed. He can lay down, sit down, stand up. I don't care what he does as long as he stays on it. He can do this for a couple of hours at a time. Okay, really good. If he got off the bed, in the beginning, when we're doing everything, it's important that he has a leash on and he can be dragged around so we can address a behavior that he doesn't perform. So if I had him in the place in the beginning, good boy, remember, lay down, sit down, stand up, I don't care. But if he got up, I could go and pick up the leash, tap him right back, just as with the down earlier. No, 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 place, drop the leash, and he's there again, okay? And we come back. Easily an hour or two, he can do this at a time. This is a great way for you to be able to relax in the evening or whenever you just need some time to yourself, but you're still communicating that you are the leader. At the end of the day, for us to have a great relationship, I believe we need to be leaders. Dogs are instinctive to the pack, and in the pack there's a leader. We want the humans to be the leader, okay? And they're gonna like that when they know they have their role to play. They're typically gonna be more confident, comfortable, and secure in that relationship. Good boy. Okay, let's go, come on. And a boy, so you notice I went right into the let's go with that command. Good boy. You're a good boy. So you know we have D-O-W-N from the side. Have I done that? Down, I did. If he didn't down then, I would tap the leash straight out in front of him and tell him no down. Right. And that would be the same from in front as well. Okay, the other thing that we do is to teach him if we want him to get into a car or on a furniture, load up. And it's a load up command. Good boy. Let's go. Very good. I'm proud of you. So the next command will be the COME command. There are two ways to do this. One is on leash, the other is off leash. I'm actually going to demonstrate it off leash right now, or pretend like it's off leash, because we're not in an actual working environment right this second. I broke him from the load up command. He's just standing there. So pretend like, and we always start this inside. I believe all obedience starts inside where their distractions are at a minimum, and then we move outside. But pretend like he's inside, he's running around in the house. We want to start to integrate that COME command. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go, hey, Toulouse, what you doing? Come. I'll call, I'll have a toy, I'll have a treat. Good boy. Break. I will call him if he's interested in, and when I say call him, I'll call him by name, call him puppy, what have you. And if he decides he wants to come to me, he wants to initiate an action with me, he's gonna start to come. I might wave a toy or a treat or something along those lines. If I get him interested, he wants to come. When he commits to coming to me, I'm gonna tell him to come. And he's gonna come to me, I'm gonna pet him, I'm gonna love him, I'm gonna give him that treat or that toy, and we're gonna play or release him or do whatever you need to do. The one thing that's so important is when we do that recall command and he comes to us, we don't do anything that would be considered a negative for him, okay? So we don't do anything to bite him, we don't put him up, we just don't do anything that he doesn't like, because then he loses that trust with us to come to us when he's free and about, okay? Let's go. Come on, good boy. So we have the COME off leash. Sit. The other is on leash, okay? On leash, that would be a time to tap the leash if he didn't come. And my hand signal is going to be like this. If he didn't come to me, I'm going to tap the leash towards me. Little tap again, nothing hard, nothing to intimidate, dominate, break his spirit, hurt him, or have him fear us. And his job is to come up to me and sit, okay? I'm still going to try to use the tone of voice for him to want to do it. Okay, buddy, come. So he comes, he sits, he looks at me, atta boy, good boy. And he sits at the end of the come. He still has to hold it until I break and release it. One of the things with the come command, both on leash and off leash, if I have a toy or I have a target, a treat, or my hand, I'm gonna bring it in right here. I want the center, his initial touch, to come right here to me. On the break, he can do just like what he did. On the come command, I want him a little tighter, like he was gonna do there if I gave the command. Hope that makes sense. The other thing that we want him to do is to be able to do the heel command. The heel command is just, I like to call it a much tighter, managed let's go, because my let's go is with a dog beside us. The big difference is we have a box beside us, okay? Our job is to keep him in that box, and his job is to stay in that box, okay? And then when we stop, he is to sit. One of the things that happens on the heel command, he has to follow our cues, if you will. So if I start to turn like this, I don't stop automatically or immediately, because he's not capable of getting back into the heel. So what will happen, heel, so I'm turning. Notice how I came straight back out of that for a second instead of stopping in the middle of the curve. That allows him to get back into the heel. See that head back thing? Again, that's very consistent with standard poodle. Heel, hand signal just like this, stop, good boy. And notice I can step off, I can do whatever. He's in a sit command at this point in time. Heel, watch me step off. See how he's coming right back into the box? Good boy. Turn, and now I'm walking straight to get him to get back by my side again. Hope that makes sense. Of course, if you need any help with anything that we're doing, I'm here for you. Just know that. Good boy. Break. Yes, sir. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it. He's going to, like I said, become a service dog, a medical alert dog. It's important that he is able to dial back his emotions when he needs to. Remember, as I said before, he can still play and have fun, but there's a time that he has to be able to work and be able to wear that work hat, so to speak. You know, if you need me, you just pick up the phone and call me, 336-945-3232. I'm here. There's never a charge for a follow-up. We want him to grow, especially as he gets his scent work and starts to do his normal job. Sometimes that creates a little bit of confusion for him. I'm here to help straighten that out. You can find me JimHodgesDogTraining.com, on Facebook, even on Amazon. I appreciate it so much. 336-945-3232. Thank you so much, and God bless. Break.